going to see anywhere else. So why don't we start things off with a bang, Dave?
In 2005, Ring of Honor brought Japanese legend Kenta Kobashi, a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, to the United States for his first visit here in ROH. And when he got here, Kobashi had to beat Samoa Joe.
It's a match that many people think raised the profile of Ring of Honor, and some people consider it the greatest match in the history of this company. Well, it's enough talk. Let's get to Manhattan for the Joe versus Kobashi show and this very special match.
The code of honor is followed as Ring of Honor history is made here in New York City. It's Samoa Joe versus Japanese legend Kenta Kobashi.
It's a match that the entire wrestling world has been talking about since the day it was announced. Kobashi comes to the United States to take on the ace of Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe.
Hard kick, but having not much of an effect on Kenta Kobashi.
Staring each other down intently, and Joe again scores with a kick to the side of the leg. An appreciative nod from Kobashi is, you gotta give Joe credit, he doesn't look intimidated one bit here.
We have wall-to-wall wrestling fans here in New York tonight as they know they're going to witness a spectacle. Whoa! A slap across the face of Kobashi by Samoa Joe, showing he is not intimidated by the experience of Kobashi.
A bit of a shocked look on the face of Kenta Kobashi. Well, if Samoa Joe wanted to get Kobashi's attention, I'd say he succeeded.
Collar and elbow tie-up, backed into the corner is Samoa Joe. Referee looking for a clean break. Chop across the chest and face-to-face they come.
Talk about a big fight atmosphere, Dave. We're just a block and a half away from Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. It's hosted championship fights in boxing and wrestling for close to 100 years, and I don't think that building has seen an atmosphere any hotter than this one we're seeing right here.
Joe takes Kobashi off his feet, sends him to the floor, and here he comes, baseball slide drop kick. Samoa Joe hits the ropes. Elbow suicida.
taking a page out of the book of one of Kobashi's most famous rivals from Pro Wrestling Noah, as well as All Japan Pro Wrestling, Mr. Misawa.
Brings these fans to their feet here in New York City. Kenta Kobashi is one of the wrestlers that Samoa Joe studied as he was just breaking into professional wrestling, training to become a wrestler. And it's the style of wrestling that Joe witnessed Kobashi, Misawa, and all of the other Japanese legends compete in Japan during the 90s with that has really molded Samoa Joe's style of professional wrestling. Very hard-hitting, very high impact.
Rolls Kobashi in and quickly gets a 2 count. Kenta Kobashi thought he was going to walk into Manhattan tonight and face a Samoa Joe who was going to be intimidated, who was going to be tentative, who was going to be afraid to take a chance. Well, that certainly has turned out not to be the case, as Samoa Joe has been all over Kobashi since the opening bell.
Samoa Joe knows this is a great opportunity to face someone from another part of the world who has quite the career under his belt. And it will certainly raise Samoa Joe's stock in Japan if he is able to defeat Kenta Kobashi here in the United States tonight.
If that happens, it won't take long for word of that victory to reach Japan. There's wrestling media from all over the world here. You see Japanese photographers at ringside. The major magazines and newspapers are here in New York tonight from Japan to cover this very, very important matchup, not just for the fans here in Ring of Honor, but the fans in Japan as well.
Kobashi able to reach the ropes, free himself from the submission predicament that Joe had him in down on the canvas. Now it's Joe chopping away at the chest of Kobashi, but just trying to shrug it off.
Kobashi's been in some of the hardest hitting, most physical matchups that Japan Pro Wrestling has ever seen, and he is not afraid to mix it up. He'll take a shot to deliver one, and you see him delivering yet another vicious knife-edge chop to the chest of Samoa Joe.
Kicking away in retaliation. And a kick right upside the head, floors Kobashi. Listen to these fans get behind Samoa Joe.
Kobashi's legendary status in Japan. You ask any wrestling historian, he's probably on the short list of the top 10 greatest wrestlers in that country's history. As Samoa Joe peppers him with kicks, and again, Kobashi shrugs it off and fires right back. So a victory here tonight would do wonders for the career of Samoa Joe, not just here in the United States, but throughout the wrestling world.
Knee strikes now from Samoa Joe. Kobashi off his feet, following that strike. Hands to their feet, showing their appreciation for the battle between these two men. And you can tell Kobashi getting a little frustrated, witnessing firsthand what Samoa Joe, a true icon of Ring of Honor competition, is all about. Chop to the back, kick to the chest, trademark combination of Samoa Joe as he drives down with the knee.
The frustrated look on the face of Kobashi. I don't think that he necessarily took Samoa Joe lightly. I don't think he was expecting this kind of explosion from Joe right out of the box.
Both wrestlers outside of the ring now. Samoa Joe with Kobashi. He's going to give him a seat. Hard kick to the chest. Samoa Joe clearing the aisle, maybe looking for that running leg kick. Connects, taking Kobashi out of his seat.
Glassy-eyed look on the face of Kenta Kobashi as Samoa Joe continues to do damage on the outside. Fans here in Manhattan on their feet.
Taking Kobashi on a bit of a tour ringside. Second leg kick from Samoa Joe. But this time Kobashi connects first. Hard chop across the chest of Joe. Measures him. chop sends Joe over the barricade and into the front row. Continuing the battle on the floor. DDT for Kenta Kobashi.
Just that quickly, when it all looked like it was going in Samoa Joe's way, the veteran Kobashi weathers the storm and is able to turn the tide of the matchup on the outside. And now it's Samoa Joe has to ask himself, what do I have to do to get back in the match? What do I have to do to defeat a legend like Kenta Kobashi?
Right now it's Kobashi with control of Samoa Joe as the head trapped. Referee making sure that it's not a choke. As Joe works his way back to a standing position. Backs up against the ropes. Referee looking for a clean break. Chop from Kobashi.
Just measures Joe for those strikes. Welts already starting to form on the right side of the chest of Samoa Joe.
Sends Joe into the ropes and a knee right to the midsection, looking to wear out Samoa Joe. Here is Kobashi. And measures him once again, chopping him all the way down to the mat. There's so many different ways that Kenta Kobashi can connect with chops. And they're working very effectively for him thus far in the contest. Off the ropes this time. Drives down with the chop. Cover. But Joe able to kick out.
Kobashi, as we said, hits so extremely hard. And in boxing terms, he's what a lot of people around the fight game say is a guy who has very heavy hands. And you can see the damage that just his open hand chops and slaps to the chest of Samoa Joe are doing. And Kobashi is continuing the assault now by trying to choke the life out of Samoa Joe with that front face lock.
He's able to reach the ropes. And it frees Samoa Joe from the hold. It's Kobashi now. Maybe looking for a suplex. Trying to get the big man up. But Joe able to block. And gets a vertical suplex of his own. Taking Kobashi over, but unable to follow up immediately is Samoa Joe, as this match has been very physically taxing on both competitors.
Joe trying to attack that arm with kicks, eliminate some of the striking ability, but Kobashi continues to fire back.
Neither man going down until now. Chest of Samoa Joe just being brutalized by Kobashi. A good ring presence right there by Joe. Realized where he was at and grabbed the bottom rope as Kobashi went for the cover.
An interesting question that has to be running through Samoa Joe's mind at this point too is one of the few times in the career of Samoa Joe that we've seen him maybe physically outmatched in a matchup. He's giving up a lot of size to Kobashi. Joe's a big, big man, but this is one of the few times in Joe's career he's staring across the ring against someone who's a little bit taller, who's a little bit heavier, who might be a little bit stronger, and Joe has to ask the question, does he have the physical tools to really go toe said, Joe patterned himself after Kobashi with that hard-hitting, straight-ahead offensive style.
Again, just measuring Joe for another chop. But Samoa Joe able to kick out once again. He refuses to be defeated here tonight by Kenta Kobashi in the promotion that turned Samoa Joe into a star in professional wrestling.
Definitely a matter of pride for Samoa Joe in this matchup. This is his home promotion. Granted, he's facing a legend in the wrestling business in Kobashi, but this is Joe's house. Kobashi came here to challenge Joe. It's a matter of pride here in front of Joe's people that he's able to put on not just a credible performance, but to go out and win this matchup.
He's starting to fade as Kenta Kobashi trying to just wear down Joe, take away all of his energy. Chop right to the forehead of Samoa Joe.
May have gotten him on the bridge of the nose there. When you get hit in the nose like that, your eyes begin to water. You make it very difficult to see. And Samoa Joe again struggling to even get to his feet after yet another chop from Kobashi.
And now shots to the neck as well. But Samoa Joe plants Kobashi. Back senton.
Quick burst of adrenaline from Joe. And now it's Kobashi who has to dig down. Pain etched on the face as Joe begins to pepper him with right hands and chops in the corner. Series of strikes from Joe. Kobashi's legs begin to buckle in the corner.
The tide of the match has turned into the favor of Samoa Joe.
It's the third or fourth time the matchup has turned in one or the other's favor. Neither man able to keep an extended flow of offense before the other begins to fire back.
It shows just how well matched up these two competitors are. A couple of kicks to the face. He's got Kobashi up and power bombs him into the turnbuckle.
Any question about whether Joe had the physicality to match up with a Kobashi may have been answered right there. Power bombing the larger man into the corner.
And now he's got Kobashi positioned in the corner. Just raking the boot across the face of Kobashi repeatedly. Joe hits the ropes and connects with the boot.
All of his momentum off the ropes, connecting with the side of the head of Kenta Kobashi.
Elevating Kobashi to the top rope, maybe looking for the muscle buster. Trademark move of Samoa Joe! Muscle buster! No! Kobashi kicks out, and I don't think Samoa Joe can believe it. He's put away many men with that very maneuver, but Kobashi survives the muscle buster.
Knee strikes to the side of the head from Joe. Has to maintain the advantage. Going for the rear naked choke. But Kobashi escapes. Glancing blow with that kick from Joe, but did damage nonetheless. Has him up. Powerbomb.
Turns him over, holding onto the leg. Into the STF goes Samoa Joe. Trying to cinch in that facelock portion of it, but Kobashi feels it coming and is trying to block the attempt as best he can.
Joe unable to clasp his hands and get the crossface portion of the STF until right now.
Has it cinched in. Referee asking Kobashi if he's had enough. These fans encouraging Kenta Kobashi to get to the ropes. So much respect for Kobashi from the ROH fans. Trying to inch his way to the ropes, but traps the arm of Kobashi. Pulling back on the facelock. Trying to reach the ropes with his other arm. He's so close.
Fans urging him on, and again Samoa Joe blocks the attempt.
Grabbing the other arm as well. Kobashi's really having to fight his way out of this hold, and he makes the ropes.
much energy and how much strength did that fight for the rope break take out of Kobashi, as you see the sweat just pouring off of the faces of both of these athletes. The physical price being paid by both Kobashi and Samoa Joe here in New York.
And Samoa Joe is the first one to his feet. Kobashi the worse for wear after being in that hold, trying to pull himself up in the corner.
Joe poised in the far corner, waiting to strike. But it's Kobashi out of the corner first with a chop. Waistlock. Half Nelson suplex.
But Kobashi can't follow up with immediate cover after connecting with that maneuver. He's too worn down, and ROH senior official Todd Sinclair administers a double count on both wrestlers. These fans encouraging them to get back to their feet and continue to fight.
Sinclair gets to 6 as Kobashi begins to stir to his knees and to his feet. Joe to a knee. Both men back up. Chop from Kobashi sends Joe to the corner. And a second win from Kenta Kobashi.
Getting all fired up.
Rapid fire chops in the corner.
He's not done! Just wearing out the chest of Samoa Joe. And now measuring him. Again, another variation of the chop right to the neck of Samoa Joe. Look at the damage done by Kobashi. And Joe is down in the corner. One more. Kobashi just looking to brutalize Samoa Joe in order to pull out the win in this match.
Into their feet, waistlock by Kobashi. Once again has the half Nelson. Half Nelson suplex. He dumped him right on the back of his head. Joe may be out right here.
Kobashi with the cover. Samoa Joe able to grab hold of the bottom rope. Again, ring presence from Samoa Joe is what saved him after that brutal attack in the corner by Kobashi, followed up by the half Nelson suplex.
What a sleeper by Kobashi.
Again, trying to just wear down Joe, take away his energy. Joe's trying to stay in this matchup.
A very effective hold at this point in the matchup. Joe has suffered so much punishment from Kobashi.
Sleeper suplex!
Joe won't stay down.
And I don't think Kobashi can believe it. That Joe is surviving all of his offense. Kobashi sets his victory.
Chop to the arm from Kobashi. Another one to the side of the head and again to the neck. Just chopping down Samoa Joe, who won't leave his feet. Kobashi off the rope.